going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Adeline Garage. Today we're going to be running some diagnostics on the Mustang. I guess I'll get into the story of why we're getting in running some diagnostics. So late September I did a track day at Daytona, and I was coming out of the infield about ready to go up on the banking, and a nice big old plume of smoke came out of the exhaust. So pull off track, ran the codes, and cylinder 8 misfire, so all Coyote owners know what that means. So I guess tonight we're going to confirm and see if cylinder 8 has any compression or not. So for the sake of time, I've already taken the strut tower off, the cover off, and the little valve covers off. So I guess we'll go ahead and take off the coil for cylinder 8. This is right here. Probably should grab one of my million magnetic trays, so I'll leave that. Pop this guy out of the way. And then I need to get the spark plug out. I would say that's a little wet, which is not a good sign. So yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and hook a compression tester up to it and see what happens. Alright, so I'm gonna go crank over the engine, and I guess Anthony will watch this. Completely forgot I have to pull. Which fuse was that? Which is this one, it looks like. Which I'm gonna have to grab something that's not my fingers slip off. Okay. I'm going to put this in my pocket so it doesn't
Yep, go ahead. That's nothing. You're at nothing. That one's dead.
Want to do another one for comparison?
Sure, let's hit the next one. Alright, so we've gone ahead, get the next one over. Alright, I guess if you're ready. You're instantly at, like, what, 170 maybe? So 8's definitely dead.
So it's either a wriggling issue or there's a hole in the piston. Both of which are common issues for the Coyote. So sometimes it's tuner related. But I guess that cylinder gets heated up with, I guess, long, hard, high RPM pulls.
Starts getting pre-detonation.
Yeah, or something that's boosted, which going 160 miles an hour in Daytona for long periods of time under load, that'll do it. So yeah, the plan right now, we kind of started figuring this out even before we did the video, because we kind of figured that this was the problem. Probably going to order a 2015 short block from Ford. They're about 1,800 bucks, something like that. And then we'll just swap everything over. The newer Gen 2 Coyotes, obviously you can run a lot more boost through, so you can run, I think it's like 850 to the wheels with those engines, or maybe it was 850 to the crank. Not that I'm going to boost the car, but from the research that I've done, it's actually cheaper to do a newer generation Coyote short block than to either rebuild this or order an 11 through 14 short block. So that's kind of like the plan right now. We'll probably do oil pump gears too. We may do valve springs so we can rev it out pretty high.
Was it the CJ Pony Parts cooling thing, or who makes that cooling?
MMR. Was it like modular mod motor?
Whoever makes the cooling mod for the cylinder 8.
Yeah, so we'll probably do the cooling mod just to be safe. We're probably going to do a 2nd gen Coyote short block. We'll do a forged oil pump gear, or billet oil pump gear, because that typically is, I guess it's made of that like pressed metal stuff. What was that called? I guess
it's like stamped steel.
Yeah, it's like stamped steel, so the higher RPMs still explode. So that's kind of the plan right now. I don't really have the funds to dump in this right now, which I'm gonna have to anyways. So which is why we really didn't talk about it or do anything with the Mustang in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. So I'm kind of preparing to drop $2,000 in the Mustang and make it more reliable again. So I think we're probably gonna do the whole pulling the engine, the trans, all that stuff at a buddy's shop, just because he has a lift. If he's not available, I might hit up another friend that has a drive-on lift where we can at least pull the transmission, the clutch, the exhaust, all that off, and then tow the car back here, pull the hood off, and then Anthony and I can pull the engine out here. So yeah, I guess this will be a new build series, an unattended build series. We're doing another 302 build. This time's a mod motor.
We got the old school and the new school.
Yeah, right. So just eventually wait for a thumbnail of the Pushrod 5.0 next to the Coyote 5.0.
I mean, we do have 2. We could just do the Pushrod.
Or we could put the Pushrod that's sitting over here that nobody knows about.
Dun dun dun.
In, yeah, there's actually a 393 Windsor Stroker that's been in. That was another project that I was doing a long time ago, which I had a Fox body, and we're gonna make it like a little drag car. So that's actually almost built. We may or may not use that for something on the channel. I may turn it into a spec Miata if somebody purchases it for the right price, but I don't know. So that's kind of where we're at now. I will say we were having issues, which I originally thought at Daytona. Typically for the track days, I don't record just because it's so busy and I don't really have time in between sessions to do anything. But there was an issue with not having catch cans, where I would go into the banking or come off of the banking and all of the oil would rush into the intake, which actually I'll show you guys, since that probably should be part of the story too. So the issue I was having was right here. There's the breather that goes into here. I've already taken it off. It basically goes from here up into the valve covers. So what was happening is that on the banking, it was pushing oil up over through here, and it was draining back down into the intake manifold. And there's a nice little puddle. Yeah, I know I have the sound tube. That's going to get ditched too. I don't even know why I still have that. I just didn't order caps. So there was a bunch of oil. I think we wiped it off, or it's crept back into the engine. Underneath this, let me take off the math. This is kind of in the way. Let's see. See all of the oil in here? You can probably see that. All of that is oil that was running from the valve covers into the engine. And then, you can see, I should probably just take that off. Inside the, I don't think you can really see, the whole entire bottom of that intake manifold is coated in oil. I don't think you can really see it. Now. So, originally that's what I thought the issue was. I've got even oil on my fingers. But with further inspection, it turns out to be that it's cylinder 8 and not a lack of a catch can issue. So, we'll be getting catch cans too for the car. But yeah, it sucks, but what can you do? This car, it's an early 2011, so it was built in March of 2010. And from my research, this was the first Coyote car that hit the state of Florida when the Coyotes came out. So this car's had every issue that you can think of that was related to like the early Coyotes. So, and of course, this is the last one. Sucks. But what can you do? So we'll just we'll keep on chugging along, and we'll keep you guys updated with the progress. Alright guys, well that wraps up this video. I started kind of looking to see what we're going to have to do to pull this engine. I just took off the cold air intake little heat shield thing. It looks like it's actually going to be relatively easy to pull. It looks like the motor mounts you can reach from the top. Actually, all three, if you decide to do from the top section. I need like a little laser pointer or something. But yeah, I can unbolt, and yeah, you can't see that. Unbolt it from the top or the two bottom ones from up here. I'm looking at, it looks like there's a bunch of coolant lines, so probably this hose will come off. I can either take it off here or just pull this whole thing off in that there. Looks like the whole engine harness plugs into the computer, the ECU right here. So that looks like a giant plug that's underneath here that you really can't see. And then the AC compressor, which we can pull off from the bottom when we put it up on the lift, and pull it off to the side. And then looks like, besides the heater port hoses, that's about it. And then the whole engine will come out. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's too big of a deal. I mean, both Anthony and I have a lot of experience pulling various engines. And before the channel even started, we pulled and put back a 2-valve that we rebuilt. So it's kind of that, just basically 2 more cams. So it sucks, but what can you do? So it'll just be bigger and better. I'm not sure when we're actually going to get started on this. Both Anthony and I have some personal stuff to do the next couple of weekends for working on stuff at friends' houses.
Which means videos might be
videos
skipped.
might be delayed. We're going to try and not do that. We'll try and at least get out a video every Tuesday. But in the meantime, yeah, the Mustang's just going to kind of sit here, and I kind of have some other parts that I might be ordering too while it's all apart. But yeah, I'm not going to start it either. I thought about starting it, but it's just, it blows huge amounts of smoke, so...
It's probably not too safe for whatever's going on in there.
I don't want to hurt anything more that's already damaged, so... I'm hoping that the cylinder heads are okay, which they should be if it's just like a ring issue. But I don't want to damage the block anymore if we, for some reason, we decide to rebuild it rather than getting a short block. So.
Well, we could probably do a video on stripping that engine down.
Yeah, we'll do
before the pull, because that'll lighten it up a lot.
I'm kind of thinking that probably the next video will be us towing the car over to... We're going to either do one of two things. I'm going to contact a friend of mine who has a 2-post lift, and we can see if we can pull the entire thing out there, or if he's not available, we'll hit up another friend that has a drive-on, and we'll at least pull the drive shaft, the exhaust, and then the transmission out, and then we'll pull the engine out here. I mean, we can do everything here, but it's a giant pain in the butt without the lift. So we'll probably do that. We'll have a video of pulling everything out, and then we'll probably have a video of stripping down the Coyote itself, and then figuring out what the issue is. And then we'll go from there, where either way, it's going to probably be about the same price-wise, either if we do completely rebuild the rotating assembly. I mean, I don't know how screwed up the cylinder walls are, but it still needs to be machined either way. So by the time I get the machine parts, rebuild the whole bottom end, it might just be easier just to order a short block front Ford. So, and the good thing is, if we do the short block route, it'll be the newer generation, and if I ever decide to boost the car, then it's rated for way more than the first gen engines are.
Because other than removing the oil squirters from underneath the pistons, what's the changes on the operation of that engine?
So the 11 and 12s had oil squirters. The 13s and 14s, and actually all of the 13 and newer engines either have a block-off plate. The 13s and 14s had some type of different coating on the piston. The newer, like 15, the second gen Coyote, so the 15 and newer, have stronger pistons. I think they have the same. All of them are forged cranks. I'm trying to go off of memory here. I want to say there might be Boss rods. I know they're the same F-150 truck rods for the 15s and newer. And then they changed a little bit of the dishing in the pistons, but the actual compression ratio stays the same. So it's just a stronger rotating assembly. The 18s were where they really did some different things. So I'm going to keep these cylinder heads. People keep saying put 15 and newer just because they're more like the Boss and the wet cylinder heads. But at that point, I might as well just buy a whole new engine, and I really don't want to drop $5 grand on a new engine. So it kind of equals out to either ordering, because I looked, I think each head was like $1,000. So the rotating assembly would be $1,800. Each head would be $1,000, so that's $4,800. So you're kind of getting a like used second gen Coyote, like complete engines, which I don't necessarily want to do. Also, I want to try and keep with the classes that I run with SCCA. So I'm trying not to like modify it. I mean, I guess technically it wouldn't be illegal for me to put a 15 and newer engine in, because the 15 Mustangs are eligible in all the same classes that I run. But I just don't want to jack the cost up. So yeah, so I guess we'll keep you guys updated. Not sure when we're going to tear it into it, but thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I know we're really close to 1,000 subscribers if we haven't already hit it. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.